Well, welcome, everyone. 28 Days of Love
with Kim
and Dr. News.
Y'all know he's gotta sing his little song. It ain't gonna be right if he don't sing. So just pray that you guys had a great week, a blessed day.
Yep. And
It's
everything
been
is
busy,
moving.
but
Yes.
go ahead,
And
babe.
everything's moving. No, I'm just I'm excited tonight because we have a personal friend of mine,
Absolutely.
man. We go back a great while.
Long way back.
Yeah. Very mutual friend, man. Wow.
And his lovely,
yes,
talented, gifted,
I know,
beautiful wife.
Keep saying nice things. Maybe she'll bake a cake.
See, that's team too much. See? So, guys, it's been an amazing week, and today we're going to top it off with the icing, the cherry, the whipped cream, and all the above.
Yes.
Our very own brother, Jamiel Alexander, and his lovely wife, Liz Morales. The cook, the chef, the baker. In the house today. I'm going to unmute them.
They were muted all that
time? I
time?
muted them because I didn't want I didn't let them know that we were going to unmute them, so I wanted to mute them in case they had to talk about something.
Listen. These two are busy. They're world changers. They are movers and shakers in a lot of arenas in community engagement, community mobility, as far as social and different I'm going to say movements that are taking place. These two have their finger on the pulse of all those things, and on top of that, they're entrepreneurial in the way that they do things. So I have a lot of respect, a lot of admiration for these two. I watch from a distance, and I copy some stuff. I don't tell them all the time.
Doc, shoot. I was a student in you. Much respect. Sister Kim taught you how to sing.
Iron sharpens iron, bro. You know what I'm saying? So because they have so much going on, I don't know if you saw our video earlier today. I don't know how they do all the things they do, appear all the places they appear. And every time I see them and they're looking at each other, they looking like they just saw, a chocolate pudding pop on a hot day. That's how they look at each other. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's just jump in it because I know they have something to do.
And these folks are busy, so we're just so honored that they're here tonight. So we want to first start out with welcoming you guys. You guys come on, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and tell us how you met.
Amen. Ladies first, please. I'm gonna be a whole...
So Liz Morales Alexander. We have two different sides of a story. We met at a red light.
All right.
And Jamiel was driving a school bus for the Christmas Addicts, and he just got out the car and he said, "Hey, I think you're beautiful. Can I have your number?" And as soon as that light turned green, I left.
She pulled off. She literally pulled off. Then I saw her again downtown, just shaking and baking. As far as she was with her crew, just her aura just kind of drew me in. As far as I know you probably don't remember me, and and from there she smiled. And from there,
that's all you need.
It was the crazy thing is, Doc, and it was literally at a point where she put her hand. I'll never forget it. She put her hand on my shoulder, like, "Yo, you can't handle me." But the fact that she smiled, I'm like, "It's cool. I don't want to handle you. Let me just."
Yes.
Wow.
And so it was just, and here we are, 18 years together, 9 years married.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow. I love that.
9 years, March 16th, as a matter of fact.
I love that.
Would you say, Jamiel, we cut you off right there, that last part?
No, 9 years, March 16th, 18 years, March 12th. We met on the 12th, and we always celebrate our anniversary from the 12th to the 16th.
Oh, I love that.
Love it for that whole. See, I told you I'm always copying off of them.
That's why we look. This is what the 28 Days of Love is. It's for all of us to get a re-spark from all these different people dropping pearls and vision and just sweet things to help us to remember how to love each other.
So Liz, Jamiel said that he liked your aura. What he saw, what he felt about you. What was that thing that drew you to him?
So for me, it took some time because you know, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so you always gotta just watch. So I would do things like go take my dad to Damon's where he was working at, and then I'll take my mom to, you know, addicts. And at first I thought he was like a car salesman, but
yeah. I was, now that I think about it, I was grinding. Like, you know what I mean? You already know the 9 to 5 for work. And now that you said that, I do see the difference too. Mommy would come to the CA, rest in peace, and Papa would be at Damon's. And it was just one, I mean, I don't think I ever really knew that. But at the same time, like, I was honored just to be in the president of their family. You feel me? Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Because there was a level of them knowing me and connecting.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, man, thank you, love. Yeah.
Wow. So it was his acceptance.
Oh man.
Family.
I can't hear you no more. The devil.
You can't hear me no more. I can hear you.
I see your lips though.
Well, if you need to call, it's okay.
Call, Liz, call. I don't know. The alarm went off. That was about it, but it shouldn't affect the volume.
So, guys, they're in their car interviewing with us. If in fact we're going to have to probably make a phone call so they can hear us, so it might not be, the sound might be out a little bit. So, Jamiel, we know you guys are listening through the phone. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. We were so enjoying that story.
Sorry about that.
If you guys just turn me down a little bit.
So, what I'm hearing that Liz said that she enjoyed or respected how you wanted to be a part of her family.
Or came to see or met her family.
Did I hear that right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
But see, that's just the normal Jamiel. That was him.
Yeah.
Always.
Amen.
Just family oriented, really social, loving. She was saying that she would take her father to the restaurant and take her mother to the CA, and he was there.
Wow.
So that's how he got to know her people, and she got to know.
And mind you, like I was, and knew and Big Sis, like Doc, and there was a level, there was a time in my life where you already know I was working. I was literally working to keep myself busy.
Right.
You know, the Idle Mind, the Devil's Workshop. You already know. Y'all know me. Like y'all, I'm little bro. I love y'all, and we look up to y'all as a couple as well. Powerhouse. So the fact that she came to my space, there was levels of for real. It was like courting, but we didn't go out on a date. You feel me?
Gotcha.
So it was literally like, just getting in there each other, and just now, even nobody has ever acted this, and I don't even think we ever talked about this to anybody. But it's like, go ahead, talk to me.
So for me, it was important. I came as a package. I had my 2 children, so for me, it was very important to really get to know the person that I was going to be with. I just wasn't going to introduce my kids to anyone. So it was very important for me, for my mom to be all right with it, for my dad to be, get there. And when I look for a man, I look for something that, that resembles my dad, a hardworking man, somebody that loves his community.
Benicio Pa, we love you.
Kids, so all of that was important.
Yes.
I agree, Liz. Thank you so much for saying that.
So you two are involved in a lot of different things that have different missions or purposes, right? Do you have a mission or a vision for your family, for your marriage?
Yeah. And it's literally our prayer every morning.
Wow.
God our feet, anoint our hands, word our lips. Let us be everything you called us to be.
Yeah.
That's it. Every morning. That's how people don't realize, like, I personally meditate to, to kind of, ask for direction, but then we pray to just give it to God. Because with all that said, is like, I mean, I'll be in my, like, I'm a thinker sometimes. Like, this is where my lady, like, this is what I love about Liz, because she balances me in a way where I overthink a lot. Like, sometimes it's crazy, and I'm realizing the balance of her. Like Liz is just a doer, like a go-getter. Like, we'll figure it out later. But I've learned over time, that's how she makes me better. That's how hopefully I'll make her better in a way where, like, even through the entrepreneurial side, like, she just has a natural talent. So with her passion, I get to be the paperwork while I'm out, you see what I'm saying? So there's levels of like us learning this with time as well. Cause a lot of people see it's like I'm blessed. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like these two beautiful children. I've always prayed for a wife with two children and a job that I could travel the world. And this is when I was young and going through the whole domestic violence. So it's like we ground ourselves in prayer and just being thankful, you know what I mean, through it all.
Wow.
And we try to take the community right along with us.
Amen.
Whether it's, me as friends, taking them to travel with us. Just the other day, one of the young men from the block said, he didn't hang the phone up, and I overheard him say, "Oh, these are my step parents," and to me it melted my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we try our best to take as many people as we can.
Yeah, like even when our son, he's older, he moved out, but the same thing, like, and it's so crazy, whether it be her household or my household back in Philly, like, we don't mind hosting, we'd rather be together because we know there will be a time, like even now, like daughter preparing for college, our son has moved out, living his life, but he still comes home, and that's beautiful. You know what I mean? There's no ROI in that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
man, that's amazing. That's amazing. I want to go back to something you said. You said every morning you pray your mission.
Yeah.
So tell me about that prayer, that practice of prayer. What does that look like?
Yo, you gonna bug on me because you know who I got that from? The great Bishop O.T. Jones Jr. And I never realized this as a youngin'. As much as I was playing in the streets, I tell this all the time. Like, I never realized. I always knew how great he was, but then at the same time, as I've gotten older, like, he would come pick me up from prayer, just like Ernie. Like, it was so crazy. Like, as much as, things were going on in my personal life at the house, there was still these giants in my life, whether it be Bishop Jones, Ernie, and even Katie Parham. They would literally come pick me up from the block. Bishop Jones would pick me up for Monday night prayer, like literally. And then it might have been to play the drums, but I was listening.
Yeah.
And one of the things he used to always say is, get up and wash your face. Pray to God. Like, he was, and I remember that. So it's like it became a part of me, like, even in my trying times, because there was a point of isolation when I came to YC, to be real with you. Like, nobody really didn't care for me, to be real with you. And this is why I love you, Big Newt and Kim, in a way where there was a level of like community with that at Maranatha, and even Ernie just being a big homie to me. Like, dang, do I want to move back to Philly? But me going back to Philly, I didn't want to put myself in those predicaments. And look at God, bless me with what I needed.
Ooh, got the prize, prize. So listen, in every marriage, you have two people coming from two different places, two different everything about you. And you come together, you get married, and you become one. You start the journey of becoming one flesh. So that means that conflict is inevitable.
Yeah.
So even as smooth and as giving and as thoughtful as the two of you are individually, what are some of the things you do?
Go-to things.
Your go-to strategies, if you will, that you put in place when conflict starts to happen, in your marriage.
So I'm just learning this. You want to go first, though?
Go ahead.
I just learned this in a way where, and I want to say it was 2020 that made me realize it, though. I ain't gonna lie. Through everything that was going on, like we all were at a place where there was forced isolation, right? But the solidarity with the family that we built was girl, because it was like, it wasn't like we have an argument, kind of walk away and then come back so we won't get each other upset. In place. Oh man, here we go. I think it just cut me off.
You all right? You're all right.
Okay. Even while we were in place, like there was thing like we created a garden. So it was almost like, instead of like I'm the talker, and I told you I'm an overthinker, so I'd rather talk it out and process. But I had to realize, even with Liz, like she's not gonna talk. Like, she's more of a like, let me give me I used to say, okay, give me a day, but no, she might need 2 or 3. You feel me? And I know that I love her, and I know that she loves me. So it's almost like, while she takes her time, you know what, Mil, what did you do to bring this situation about? You feel? I believe in the mastery of self in a way where, like, even when we become one, when we did that covenant before God, there was a level of like, okay, as much as I had to understand my patterns and how I become better as whether it be a man, how do I become better as a husband? So it's like, you know what I mean? I believe in, we both Geminis. So, okay, if there's conflict, there can also be community. Okay, like how do we learn? So my go-to, of course, prayer, going into my little garden to meditate, or the fact that I'll go for walks. She like, and that was on some COVID stuff, because back in the day, you know what I mean, I just kind of like, she goes, I goes, but it's like, okay, just I still like, let me go for a walk to process, because as much as I want to talk to you, she ain't ready for that. And I literally had to learn that. And this is recent. So love what you talk
and just knowing that you don't have to agree on everything. We can just agree on disagree. Everything is not going to be an agreement.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So true. So our focus is about love's vehicle, making sure that whatever it is that we've established in our relationship, that we let that thing carry us over to the next place in life.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about love's tank, because in that vehicle, it's got to be filled with fuel.
Amen.
What is it that you guys do independently to keep fueling yourself, that you're able to build that relationship and take it where it needs to go in your marriage? So independently, what do you do?
So two becoming one, like we make time for time.
Yeah.
We make time for time. Like we would, like, before I even had this job, we always go 3 times a year. Our anniversary in March, her birthday is the 2nd, mine is the 6th in June. Our son and daughter birthday is December 2nd and 3rd. So we've been travelers in a way where, like, we replenish ourselves as a family. Like, even though our son moved out, like, we still travel together. So that's a beautiful tradition that we started. Personally, like I said, like me, like I literally, and I almost feel like she kind of dived into the arts. And back in the day, I used to play the drums, but now I'm on my green thumb vibe. Like, we got a great vibe. So I'm more in the yard. You see what I'm saying? I'm in the yard. Springtime, I'm waiting for my grapes to come. You know what I mean? But then in the back, she has her garden. But I'm gonna do just kind of like, weeding and pruning. So that's how you know what I mean?
And what about you, Liz? What do you do to fill your own tank so that you're ready to drive this relationship to the level where it should be?
You gotta put the color.
I think for me, I don't have the key. For me, I'm sorry. So for me, it's more of I don't know. I try to that's a great question, honestly. It's a great question. For me, I don't know. I try. Honestly, I don't even know how to answer this question.
I think
Think of it like this. Think of it like this. What's something that you love to do and you don't need nobody to do it with you?
That's a good way to put it.
Cooking, just being creative when it comes down to being a mom. Honestly, being able to know that Jamiel is going to I don't know, is having a conference, and I want him to look good, so I go buy him whatever it is. When it comes down to me, and she's into the arts as well, which are different arts, but just making sure I'm trying to be present.
Okay.
Wow.
So taking care of your family, being creative, and being present is the fuel that puts you in that vehicle that you guys can drive that relationship to the place. Those are like amazing things.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm trying to keep up.
New is, in case you guys didn't know, New is like typing everything, trying to type all your notes and put them in the chat so people can read them, because these are like pearls. She's creative, she cooks, she loves being a mom, and even making sure her husband looks a certain way when he's going to.
So can I say something about that?
Sure.
Right? Because she used to call me her polo teddy bear, because I was a little chubbier. I mean, but I've always liked to look nice. And it literally got to a point where I almost feel like she's my designer now.
Yeah.
So she'll give me something, you know, because I like a certain look. But she'll challenge me like, look, I want to see you in this. And every now and then I'm like, okay, love. All right.
She's trying to bring the New York to Philly or the Jersey to Philly. She's trying to show you too.
There you go. Keep that East Coast, that vibe.
She's
Listen, I
trying to
said
show
East
you.
Coast.
And that's So God, and I want to kind of build and kind of respect that energy too, because I almost feel like the fact that like she gets into a zone when she cooks and create. I always say it's almost like edible. It's edible art, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that she lost her job during COVID, there was a reality of like, yo, you know what I mean? Things happen. She got so freaking focused, and her gift made room for her.
There
So
it
it's
is.
like, so the fact that she was beginning to reap the fruits of her labor, because we always in the community, she's always been active, like even with the ministry at this church. And there was a level of like, you know, we doing it. You know what, love? Let me, you know, here it is, something that I learned in school, or the fact that, oh, okay, she's a beast. That's another thing too. She's a beast at marketing. But then in the beginning, it was almost like, yo, Mel, what can you do? Like, okay, I'm up here cooking. Can you just post for me? You feel me? And it was just that small thing. But then it's like, she perfects her craft over time. And it's to a point now, like, love.
Wow.
She literally has a whole catering business. People don't know this. Like, you have Morales Kitchen that does the catering, but then you have the You Can Have Your Cake and Eat It Too that does all the sweets and the desserts. So it became literally like,
so listen, guys, because we're coming at time, and I know you have something to do. So just a couple more things, and then we want you to share some of the stuff you're doing and how people can follow you.
Yes.
But I do have a question that's not on our list that we gave you.
Talk to me.
So the one question I have is this: you guys are public figures, however you look at it, whether it's you, Jamiel, on your job, or community activism, or working with youth, or a social movement. You, Liz, you're entrepreneur, so they see you in the kitchen, or whether you're tailor making cakes or whatever the other things that you do. You're both young, very attractive people.
Thank you.
What kind of stress happens that way, and how do you let people know, you know, I'm happy, my tank is full?
Amen. 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 That's a good one. That's a powerful too.
So for me, it's more of, I'm not a jealous person. And to be with someone like Jamiel, you can't be, you know, because when I met him, he was hugging and kissing everybody and loving on people, you know, and I don't want to change that, because that's the person that I fell in love with. Right.
Yeah.
So, and another thing, Jamiel has been in, for example, in Europe, and I'm like, no, I'm not going. And everybody know exactly who I am, almost as if he was showing my picture around, you know. So, he gives me my place, and I give him his place, and we trust from there.
Yeah. And I love her for that, because I almost feel like
good.
I love her for that, because I almost feel like that helped me work with my insecurities, to be real with y'all. Right? Because she's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I told you, like, and her aura, I mentioned her earlier, but like when she was with her girls, like she was in VIP, and she was like literally like the boss. You feel me? And and you know, there was a level of like, I had to learn, and this is why when by the time I was ready to get married, like it's like I literally had to work on that first couple of years, in a way where like there was times where I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, you know, talk to me, this and that. Like, and I had to learn, like, know that I'm with you and I'll get back to you when I can. You feel me? Versus, you know what I'm saying? And this was like in the beginning era, in a way where like, I was like, all right, I respect it. And it was levels of like, when we would be out, the fact that, you know what I mean, people will howl at her. But then I start taking it as like, she would literally be on some like, come to me on purpose and be like, look, it is what it is. So by time I became more comfortable with myself and understanding that I have this beautiful being that God blessed me with. There was levels in the way where wherever I go, of course, I'm going to speak about my wife and Claire's, because if you see me, you see us. So by the time I'm trying to pave the way, so when she did pop up on me in Oxford, England, when she did pop up on me when I was in Atlanta, just like like, you see what I'm saying? Because I was traveling for work. They're like, oh shit, oh Jesus,
you're all right, you're okay.
They're like, oh, Jamiel, Liz is here. I'm like, oh, Liz, what's up?
You said good. You said.
I'm like, okay, like, come on, bring her in. Like, I'm working.
Bring her in.
Like, cool. I'm sorry about that, Doc.
No, you're fine. We're adults here.
That's good.
But I love that. I love that.
Listen. I know you got to go. One more thing for you.
Look, Luke just could not wait to take over. He just wanted to ask all the questions.
Well, I know they got to go, and I want to get them while they're here. So you got to rapid fire those guys. Right? Tell us one thing that you'll drop, one piece of knowledge, one drop some science on anybody who's listening or who will listen. What's one thing that will come from the Jamiel and Liz camp that'll help somebody who's married, who wants to be married, whether they're in a good situation, bad situation? What's that one thing?
Who's having difficulties in their marriage or whatever, you think that pearl to help them know that they can make it?
It's God.
Wow.
It's God. This
is gotta be God first, God second, God third, God fourth. You know.
And it's crazy. Wow. Because I know I'm not perfect, and the fact that she accepts me in my imperfections, that's how I see the God in her, and that's what makes me love her even more. Because it's like, even as I'm trying to understand, because I come from a dysfunctional family, and to break generational curses, generational curses with my wife, I know this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So this is why I pray, because I know I ain't perfect, but this is why I pray. This is why we pray. And I'm guide my feet, anoint my hands, word my lips. Let me be everything you call me to be. That's and it's crazy, because that last genre right there goes back to a famous song from Ernie. Help me to be. I want to be everything you call me to be. So I got a little bit of. It's a combination of Bishop Jones, Pastor Smith, and Ernie. Because Bishop Jones, he was always on a reading, just kind of watching what you say. And then even with Pastor Smith, it was almost like, remember the statement back in the day we used to always go and run through. But then there was the song of Ernie that, like, okay, help me to be. So that literally became our thing, like a little bit of everything. But like, how do we make it work for us?
Wow.
That's that dual work.
On the other side, the grass is never greener on the other side.
Never.
It might appear that way. It's not. You're gonna go through things with whoever you're with. No matter what. And it's just that not giving up.
Yeah.
You want to be a quitter, then go ahead. But if you're not a quitter, you got to stay there. You got to pray, and you got to fight that good fight.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This was lovely.
How can we find out?
So please tell us where people can find you, how they can follow you. Liz, tell us about where you're cooking next, what's happening, Jamiel, all the information, all the social media stuff. Please tell us it all.
I'm Morales 717 in all social medias. I'm on the corner house on Maryland and Hartley.
Hey, don't get loud.
They're gonna be all right. Everybody knows that's where we're located.
Okay. Well, we got cameras regardless. I appreciate it. They do pick up the cakes. The hood of me will never die. Like, God gave me that third eye. We're gonna use it. So, JamielAlexander.com. Like, when it's all said and done, I am around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I make myself available, and even if I can't answer, give me 24, 48. I'll be right back to you.
I'm looking anybody, Morales Kitchen, and You Can Have Your Cake and Eat It Too, are looking for at least 11 donations to do this year. So just giving back. We're not.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
That's just amazing.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you guys, you heard it, you saw it, and you see it. That's all I can say. And we have got to get them to come back when it's just not that 30-minute thing where we really can sit down and let them just tell us.
We need to be in the same room.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I love you.
It'll be our
pleasure. Say it again, Liz.
Yeah. Say it again, Liz. I said it would be our pleasure to sit in, to be in your presence.
So I'm happy to do this because this is the most that I've heard Liz talk since I've known you. You're always moving, so we never get a chance
and
to
smiling.
Say,
She's moving and smiling.
Yeah. So I've been blessed by this. Thank you. I got some nuggets. We placed those nuggets in the chat. People will watch the recording. Hey, you guys, you heard it right here. Remember this when they're rich and famous billionaires. Did they know us?
He is a mess. Put that prayer out there. He is a mess.
Listen, can we proclaim something over your life? All right. We're just gonna go ahead and speak in the atmosphere right now. Jamiel and Liz. Jamiel and Liz. We're gonna say those names out loud. God, I don't know what you have in store for them, but I know that it is bright. I know that it's gigantic because you say that, if you sow, then you shall reap. We know that they are givers in every aspect of their life, God. So we're looking for rain and harvest to happen in their life. We're looking for a gigantic rainstorm of harvest that you have in store for them. Now, God, we're asking that you make them wise, wise to be able to handle that harvest in a way that not only will they enjoy it, but they'll use the seeds from that harvest to create more harvest and continue to be the givers that they are. God, replenish them, restore them, refresh them, and replace what's ever missing. Liz and Jamiel, great harvest. We proclaim that, we decree it, we believe it, and it's done.
In Jesus' name.
Hope you guys could hear all that. Hey guys, we love you. We love you. We love you. So I know you got to go.
I think it just cut off.
Yeah, I think we just kind of lost their feed a little bit, but we know you guys got to go. So we're just going to go ahead and move on with the show. Thank you for showing in, you guys.
So much.
We will catch you next time.
Make sure that you guys follow Liz at Morales 717 and Jamiel Alexander on Facebook. Please follow. Purchase those delicious desserts and that food and support Jamiel when he is operating in the community. Guys, love you and be blessed tonight.